What's up everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're looking at Nintendo's place in the market, especially with the conversation of Xbox games going to Nintendo, and it's raising some really cool questions. If you even see any of these posts, a lot of people will post something like, man, if Nintendo is going to be taking their game to, if Xbox is going to be taking their games to Nintendo, Nintendo might as well basically be nice to us and give us a little bit of something. You know, some people will post their favorite game like Bayonetta or Astro Chain or whatever it is. But one important question has come up in this whole conversation, and I think one of my audience members framed it in the best possible way that we can take a look at it here on this video. So shout out to you, Delusions of Grandeur, longtime audience member. And they said here, it's very simple. It makes no sense to bring more of your own games to a competitor platform when that platform won't bring any of their games to yours. New games need to be gained on both sides for gamers to benefit. Why would one side get to keep all their exclusives, yet also gaining some of yours too? That's absolutely bad business when you have your own product and gamers who would benefit from gaining those extra games. I understand this perspective a lot, and we're going to basically be talking a little bit about it in this video because I think it's a perspective that many people have raised that has, genuine concern behind it. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to establish a kind of company that Xbox is under, because once we do this, we're quickly able to see exactly why this is the case. Secondly, we also have to establish exactly what position Xbox is compared to Nintendo. Once we also do this, then it will start to make a lot more sense. So number one, Xbox in this case is a software company. They do sell hardware as well, but exclusivity has never really been their play. In fact, they realized that exclusivity was not going to work out for them, seeing that they lost the Xbox One generation, which they had enjoyed in the 360 days. And so in that case, they reverted basically back to what it is, or they seem to be reverting to back to what they've been doing in their other businesses that have been profitable for them. This is why I have this picture that has a Nintendo Switch version of Hi-Fi Rush, even though we don't know officially if that exists, and also a Microsoft 365 for Mac, because this is how they make money and this is how they grow as a company. So this is their position on the matter. So as many people may, desire that Xbox have this exclusivity, I have to say you must look at it in the context of business. Now, let's look at Nintendo's position in the market. Nintendo holds a very unique, in fact, much more unique position than you would ever even imagine. As it stands, their experiences are designed for mobile gaming in a sense where you can pick up your Switch and go where you want. In fact, this was very pivotal that Valve saw the value of this, and in wanting to get into the hardware market and also basically niche it out for themselves, they decided to go the mobile route. They could have easily gone the full-fledged, device route or whatever it is, which they've tried. They had the Steam controllers, they had the Steam, they had a device which could stream your games within your home. The Steam Deck is not their first device that's actually been entering the gaming space. You could connect your controllers to it. I actually do have one somewhere, but they discontinued that, but then they decided to do that. The reality is Nintendo already kind of is sitting very close to the biggest gaming market ever, called mobile. They have no need. Did you hear what I said? They have zero need to kowtow or bother about what anybody else is doing, because if they decided at any given day the market got tough, they can easily move straight into mobile with a bigger emphasis. They're already there, actually. If you notice, they have a list of mobile games, including Mario Kart Tour. They have Fire Emblem's Heroes. They have Super Mario Run. They have Pikmin Bloom. Now, one thing you don't see a lot of Nintendo players saying is what I see a lot of Microsoft Xbox fans saying is, oh, they don't respect their brand. That's why they're going on the App Store to the Google Play Store. No, they've made headway into these stores. And at any given moment, if the going gets rough, they're going to just move there. So thinking about it, Nintendo doesn't need Microsoft for its success or for its next major pivot. Neither does it need PlayStation or PC. They already have mobile sitting right there. And so if they actually made their way into PC or Xbox or PlayStation, they will harm their business more than anything else, because the demands right now for those platforms are the games that PlayStation has basically been publishing the last few years, and the expectations are unrealistic. They really are. I mean, let me show you exactly what it is that I mean. So look at PlayStation's lineup of games that they've been publishing. These games are costing $200 million to make. They have to have the best and beautiful graphics. Almost everybody shares this metric that, oh, these games must have these expectations. But in reality, these games are not going to really sell you much. Whereas if you developed on the Switch and you developed on mobile, you'll be able to lower your cost of development and still be very profitable on that end. So there is just no reason to make that switch and pull your game from the Switch and then bring it to the consoles so that people can come ahead and lambast it and say there's no 60 FPS mode, when that's the expectation that PlayStation has set and locked themselves into a corner because the market is shifting heavily. In fact, even Nintendo themselves know that their Switch console is already out of date, but it doesn't matter because their games do sell. And they're just going to continue to sell software, which is the main thing that they need to do. So that question is a great question, but you must look at it from this perspective in order for you to be able to get a better understanding as to why Nintendo does not need anybody at the moment. They seemingly are sitting on a quote unquote island. I mean, they do need somebody else. It just isn't PlayStation and it just isn't, Xbox. It's actually Android and it's actually Apple, of which it seems like they already have inroads there. Unlike Epic Games and Google that are fighting with Apple, and then Apple and Epic Games are having these lawsuits and all this stuff Tim Sweeney is posting on the internet, Nintendo doesn't seem to want to or need to bother about that. They can heavily monetize their mobile versions of their games. I mean, look, they can go in there and they can put up they can take one of their Animal Crossing games or whatever it is, and they can make a monetizable version that is appropriate for mobile, where people will be buying microtransactions and all that stuff. And they'll be making tons and tons of money, man. They can take Splatoon, do a version of it on the Switch, on the iPhones or on the Google Play stores. And these phones are very powerful these days. They can pretty much power a lot of these Nintendo games. And you're going to see a lot of people who are looking and saying, man, what are we going to do with this? But they know that it's going to affect their hardware sales. So they're only going to be dipping one toe in at a time. But don't be fooled. When it comes down to it, you're going to see Nintendo easily make this pivot to mobile without any stress at all or any strain. I'll stop the video there. Thanks so much for the question, and thanks so much for the comment, Illusions of Grandeur. I know this is something that is coming up in the gaming space right now, but this conversation needs to be had because many need to see it from this perspective at the end of the day. Talk to you guys in another video. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.